Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's edition of the 5D Deep Dive. And tonight we're going to be diving deep into health topics. Yay! As two Virgos, we are very health focused. So I'm very excited to ask all of my questions to Sophie. And I decided to go with this topic because I was preparing also the other show that we're going to have on Thursday, the 5D News show. And there were a lot of community questions around the topics of health. And I think this is very timely because also we just had the nodes in astrology move into the sign of Virgo and Pisces, which is the health axis. So until mid-2026, I feel like health is going to be a major theme in our lives. And we can already see it also in the politics coming up in the forefront of our awareness. So I think this is very timely. And Sophie, are we ready? Are you excited?
Yes, super excited and ready.
Yay, awesome. And I love the green, the Maison Jupiter green.
Yes, in the hair and the clothing, that's abundance, that health. And yeah.
It suits you very well.
Thank you.
Makes your eyes pop even more. So stay tuned. Every Tuesday, we're going to put a brand new 5D deep dive, except for the weeks where we're going to do the monthly predictions, which is the case for next week. So it's going to be the March prediction. So stay tuned. So beginning with, we're going to talk about health in general. And let's ask, first of all, the cards, what is the effect of daily meditation on the body, on the health in general? What is the effect of daily meditation on the body's health?
First of all, it says that it's a skill that you may not you may not receive the same benefit if you just start to do meditation. It's something that you are going to get more and more benefit as you are going to become better at it. It's a good tool to observe. It's not health yet, but it's a good tool to observe yourself from another perspective, from the external perspective. So mental health, I would say, it destroys some cells that are some bad cells in your body. So there is a lot of benefits with this for sure, because some of the negative cells are being removed. It says destroyed, so sorry.
I'm so sorry. I just had like a download while you were showing the cards. Also, I feel like with the witness kind of observer card that we had and the destruction together, I feel like it allows the consciousness to disassociate from the illnesses.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is not my identity, and move away from any label that we might carry.
Yeah, and on that same vein that you were going with, I can also be dissociation from any disaster in the world that we can see from the news, from the stress around. It puts you in an observer, like you say, mode that is releasing toxin, destroying cells that are negative. Overall, it's pretty positive. It says that in a world where everything is made to make us more sick, basically, not the world itself, but what we are doing with it is making us more, it says, insane and sick. It's really important that we are doing meditation to bring this kind of a peace energy to our body. And finally, the last card is exactly what you said, observer. Super important.
Wow. And I think you have like a really valid point too, when like everything that is going on around us in our immediate environment is designed so that like we're not achieving maximum health, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the meditation allows us to disassociate from that perspective and just channel like pure divine light and vitality, which we are at our core. So I think you have a really good point there.
I think what is missing there for some of you watching is maybe the link on why those things are related to physical health. And it's because without this that brings the meditation, you're going to feel like you're disconnected and you need some kind of a anchor. That could be sugar, that could be other things as stress, that could be so while you are reconnecting and while you're dissociating, it helps a lot to release the negative, and it removes some cravings of the negative, also craving more drama, craving more stress or sugar or others.
This is such a good point. Thank you for that. And let us know in the comments what you think, because we love to read your comments, of course. Okay, so a really nice and valid question from Angeline G in the community. She says, question on population. So I took this random image just to illustrate what was going on in the last 70 years. And she said, in December 2025, what would the world population be when compared to January 2025? Okay, so she's asking within a month. Let's ask within a year, so the whole year of 2025. Would, like, she's asking about like the world population, would it have decreased, increased, or remain the same? And if there are changes, by what margin would it change? So let's first ask, what is going to happen with the world population within 2025, within the year?
Okay. And I think she may be asking because some people online could be talking about major, and I'm going to not say that word, where people are going to depart majorly.
Yeah, I think this is what she's getting to. And she said, yeah, in December 2025. So yeah, she's comparing like January until December of 2025. So exactly. Yeah. Okay.
So the population in 2025, generally, what changes are coming with this?
Yeah, in terms of number.
Well, it says that there is a war at play on the result on this, and we're reading for world event and in a year. So, but it says that there is a war at play with this. I have about 20 cards in front of me, but this is the one that I really want to show you about this. I feel that we are there is two possible timelines still with this, and it's not yet set in stone, but I can tell you that there is people trying behind the scene, and this is very funny because now it looks like somebody else that we can see in politics, working on health. And here we have other people that are about the power and the money. We have fertility in the card as well, with the card of the feminine. So what I'm seeing here is that we have two possible lines of how it can go to different paths. And I really feel that it's not set in stone. I don't see a major tower moment yet. It's not set in stone. But what I'm seeing is that there is something major that is at play in this kind of a war on health right now. We have the Emperor showing up. And we have the Death card showing up. So the Death card is either we succeed as changing something majorly, or the Death card is there also to talk about major changes, not just physical death. For those of you watching who see this card as only the negative part of it. But I'm seeing that someone is really trying to change the path on population. And so far we're not out of the woods, but I don't see a major this word that I'm trying to not say, people departing in large number.
For sure. Yeah, from what I'm getting from what you're saying and the cards that you're picking, I think the main, let's say, not issue, but theme will be fertility, because you have fertility in women. And if that's the case, this is like the big what's at stake in 2025, like with the choices that we are making, the effects of that, their consequences are going to be for the next years and decades, not just for 2025, right? So that makes sense that you don't see like a huge change in terms of numbers, but like what's at stake in 2025 is really important for our future, right?
Absolutely. I took more cards while you were saying that to see where it was heading. And it's absolutely this. We do have two different paths in front of us. And when I asked, because you asked about if this is the issue, the fertility, we have the moon.
Yeah.
We have
pretty much a card of fertility too.
Yes, we have the temperance, and they're so far apart, those two cups, and they're not even like mixing with each other. So I think fertility will be an issue in the future. We have sadness also. It's like a disconnect. It's like there is something preventing people to be fertile in the future. Disconnecting, it's almost like, I'm not going to name things because I don't know on what words can go here or not, but in the process of fertility, it's almost like the masculine and the feminine don't reach each other, or they're not able to reach each other. There's something preventing. It's like the inner GPS of the masculine is not able to meet the feminine fertility. So what I'm seeing here is I think that what has affected a lot of the fertility, and a lot of chemicals outside of it is also affecting. And this is what is at play with the food industry. This is what is at play with tons of different things also.
Yeah. So while you were talking, like, of course, I had like the same kind of conclusions as you have with the chemicals, the pharmaceuticals that were developed in the past years, recent years. But I'm wondering also, can we ask the cards if outside of, let's say, chemicals and pharmaceuticals, is there an energetic also cause to fertility issues? Let's say women not being in their divine feminine enough and men not being in the divine masculine enough, or something along those lines. It's really more on physical side.
Yeah, I'm going to show you 4 of the 6 cards just so you can see it. We have the Justice, which is the balance of hormones also in everything,
Yeah.
and the laws and everything. We do have Parasite. It's pretty bad in the heart. And we have because of the money. So how I'm seeing those things is that the law has permitted a lot of things that should not have been permitted or legal to be legal and to reach people. And it says that we do have a lot to cleanse because it has affected it has affected multiple things. With this one, I will try to go fast, but this one is, yes, physical, but also our capacity to find the right partner to have the best mix of DNA.
Okay. On that note, and I had this question for further on in the show, but since we're talking about it, is there a way right now to remove the harmful chemicals from the bodies of the people that took the substance? Are we aware of a way right now that exists so that we can remove those parasites that we saw? Or is it coming in the near future? Because I heard of a lot of natural ways to detox the body for that, but like I'm unsure at this point, and maybe we'll ask the cards too, if like what we know right now is allowing us to detox the body is 100%, or if it's something that we're going to learn along the way.
There's so many layers to this answer. There's so many layers. I will try to go quick because I download those information and I don't see through the cards, but it says that there is a lot of chemicals outside of this specific product that we're talking about. Okay. So we're continuously putting ourselves through some dose of not the same exact substance maybe, but similar damaging substances. That's why lots of people have problem with their thyroid. It's part of it. It's because we have a lot of different chemicals going into it, and the brain, it says. So those are the 2 things to work on. And it says that working on your chakras for the third eye, the crown, and the throat helps a lot. The throat, it's ironic in a sense because it says that your capacity to speak up for yourself in your life and to defend yourself is going to influence on how you can release those chemicals. So it's almost like your physical is going to be a mirror on your soul evolution. If you're someone that is able to speak for yourself and to be able to have healthy boundaries, you're going to release those things more easily. And this is something that we can see a lot in medical intuitive also, the root cause of each problems. Lastly, I want to say that yes, there is natural things that can help. Yes, absolutely. I'm seeing it with a lot of sweating. I don't know why that's how it shows me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. I'm showing it. It's being shown also with a lot of energetic, a lot of draining. I don't know what it is about, but it says the detox of the fascia. I don't know what I'm talking about. This is just what I'm reading.
Can you remind me, where's the fascia? Is it somewhere?
It's just under the skin, and this is when you get a deep massage. It's what is really. It's like we have a bodysuit of a fascia, and every time we get surgery, every time we get hurt, if we don't get placed back, it's going to continue causing problems. But this is something that it's not known. So lots of deep tissue massage probably is going to detox even more because the fascia holds, and that would make sense. I would hide it there because nobody is taking care of their fascia almost.
Is it like a muscle or it's a tissue?
It's like a tissue that's sitting on top of the muscles. And don't quote me on this. It's been a long time since I did the course of anatomy, but I think if I remember correctly, it's like a body. So we have it from head to toe. And like I said, every time you're getting hurt, injuries, surgery, we need to have something replacing the fascia. Replacing meaning not changing it, but meaning put it back in place. So it's going to be able to fit with the rest.
And would you say that every time we're under some kind of like traumatic stress, that the fascia is kind of in fight or flight mode and it's affecting the body?
I really don't think so. I don't know that much about the fascia. It's just what I see through the cards.
Okay. So a lot of like detoxing, movement, massage, as you said, maybe hot yoga, sauna, all of that stuff. Yeah. Also with movement, so breath, I'm guessing, also could help.
Yes, breath. Deep tissue massage, not the regular one. I would go for Twina massage also with those imagery that I'm seeing. It's a lot of drainage, but if you just go for relaxing massage, it's not doing the trick. I think there's probably a purpose on why it's in that specific layer, and it's harder to reach. It's something that we don't take care of, that we don't have a lot of information on. So I think it's purposely there.
How timely that you're talking about all of this, because we just decided with Elena that we're going to start a whole new series on the channel, which is going to be the chakra yoga. So I think it's going to help all of us. And there's going to be chakra yoga on each of all the 7 chakras. She's going to do a few practices per chakra with different intentions. So the first one that we're doing is going to be this Sunday at noon. So this Sunday, February 23rd, right when Mars is going to go direct. So Mars, the planet of physical activity, also is unleashed. So now it's a really good time to start a new physical routine. And I feel like it's going to help us detox even more, get in touch with our bodies. And this Sunday, we're going to work on the root chakra. So it's going to be a 20-minute quick practice with Elena, with breath, with easy movement. And she's going to work on grounding. So join us on the channel, put the little notification bell so you don't miss any of our new shows. And of course, if you are enjoying the show until now, please do make sure you hit the like button and you are subscribed to the channel. It really helps us into creating some more content for you guys. All right. So that was, I wasn't expecting to go there, but that was like a really, really good question. about population. So, okay, now I wanted to go a little bit in the direction of astrology, because as I said in the intro, we are now in the Pisces Virgo axis with the nodal axis. And that's talking about collective karma. So where we're going. So the North Node is in Pisces. It's the sign of medicine. So we can also, well, I'm not going to say too much because I want to hear what the cards have to say.
Yeah.
So this is basically the health axis. So it says like the collective focus will be very much, well, one of the thing is health, the other is service, life mission, but we're going to focus on health here. So I'd like to ask the cards, what will be the result of us going through the eclipses in the health axis from now until mid 2026 on health in the general population?
Okay. Oh, big pharma. Oh, big pharma. You know, it says that smaller companies are going to start to be making a lot of more money. So I'm seeing that
pharmaceuticals.
I'm seeing that smaller companies probably more natural because they're smaller companies. I'm seeing that this comes a lot. This card, this recently, I see that those who are on top, basically, it's the Wheel of Fortune card. What I'm about to say, those are on top are going to fall down, and those who are struggling to survive, the companies that more healthy, I'm assuming, are going to go more on top. So what I'm seeing is that there will be a lot of investigation on the big companies, on big pharmas, and the smaller ones are going to have finally a way to grow and expand. I'm going to take the second row.
It's interesting because North Node in Pisces talks about chemicals, pharmaceuticals. It's medicine, but more of let's say the drugs, the chemical side of things, like the pharmaceuticals. Whereas Virgo, where the South Node is more like natural remedies, herbs. So it kind of says that we're gonna have like maybe some new forms of medicine, maybe not as harmful, and let's hope so.
I think that we're going to have a lot of I don't see a court case about this necessarily. It's not a justice that is front center, but what I'm seeing is that there will be investigation on the results and how we were lied to for what they truly can do and what they are doing as side effects. So benefits versus side effect is going to be investigated. There's a lot that is going to be I see big losses for big pharma, and I do see natural healing. We have the Temperance, which is one of the cards of natural remedies, is going to have more abundance. It's tough because we still have this fight with the smaller companies and the big ones, of course, because there is this is like a new royalty is entering and the old one doesn't want to leave, right? So the big pharma doesn't want to lose their money, doesn't want to lose their status, but they are going to lose their status, apparently. It's going to probably not be worldwide, but it's going to be probably more in the big countries who are starting right now with, say, the US. Canada is not well into this, so I don't know how far we're going to go with Canada, but the US is already starting this, and I'm seeing that they're going to find that a lot of what was really negative was hidden from the public, and this is going to affect how they are going to not receive the green light for new product for a while, and the smaller companies and more natural are going to receive the green lights.
Wow. Okay. And I guess you're also talking about like the kind of battle between natural remedies and, let's say in Canada and Quebec, have a very strong, let's say, structure that prevents people from getting natural remedies, natural treatments. And I had like a professional, a health professional that I was seeing, and he got sued by this institution in Quebec, and that was like a huge deal because they're trying to prevent people from, what's the word? Prescribing natural remedies to people. So they want it to be only doctors who can prescribe pharmaceuticals. So I guess you're also seeing like this kind of battles between the pharmaceuticals and the natural remedies and natural treatments sort of side. Is that what you're...
I didn't think about this, but this is making sense. But what are going to be doing all of the cannot speak. How are the doctors, yes, doctors, going to survive in this new world when they don't prescribe? They don't know what to prescribe. If those things are bad, they're going to have probably to learn new remedies, new things. I'm just really excited from a point of view of someone that it's not my full-time job to prescribe things like this. I'm really happy to see as a person in society that products are going to be under review and it's going to be more safe. But I don't know how doctors are going to deal with this, to be honest.
I don't know either, but I guess like the change has to start from higher up in the laws, in like you said, like you talked a little bit about the FDA approving or not approving stuff. So I guess it has to start from above, and then we can see the changes on the ground, right?
I think you put the finger on something quickly before we switch. I want to say that those two cards can be also about how doctors were paid to prescribe. And we had, if I'm not mistaken, the crisis of opioids that were not fully investigated. So Purdue and everything. So I think that there is a lot that is going to resurface about this.
And you saw a lot of legal stuff and a lot of corruption also being addressed in the health department. Wow. Okay. Well, that's great news. I guess it's like it's going to be a long sort of process to go through, but I guess we need to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next one. I came across a doctor on Instagram that she was saying that how can the sun be detrimental? It's the giver of life. And like everywhere, society, the governments are trying to make it as it is like the most dangerous thing that's giving us cancer and blah, blah, blah. And she was saying like, this is not the case. What is the case? The sun is detrimental if we go under it while having, let's say, induced a lot of toxicity in our bodies, such as alcohol, seed oils, a lot of things that make the skin, let's say, more vulnerable to like I'm not a professional in that kind of stuff, so I'm trying to verbalize it as best as I can. But she was kind of saying that the sun kind of triggers some form of transformation on the skin, and if you have like bad stuff that you've been ingesting before that can be detrimental, not the actual sun on your skin. So I hope I said it well. I'm trying to paraphrase from what I remember from that. So is it true, can we ask the card, is it true that the sun can only be detrimental to our skin if we have, let's say, ingested bad things for our health, such as alcohol and seed oils?
Yes, it's exactly it. So the sun is extremely positive. We have those two. The sun is very, very positive, and it brings a lot of mental health also. Until you go with extreme negative. So we have Jekyll and Hyde because it has two major sides. One So Jekyll and Hyde, it's the two side. One is very good and one is really bad. It says that the sun is extremely negative and we have a lot of inflammation, ball of fire, which is exactly it. If you have had a lot of toxicity, a lot of products that are going to go in your body and are going to be activated through it. So very important that you are going to use more of the natural stuff, more of what is in the health. I recommend 5 ingredient and less if you can with the food. But yeah, it's not just the food, like you said. It could be the sunscreen itself. It could be what you use as a skincare product. Anything. It's activated the negative.
Okay. Wow. Okay, that's a great confirmation for that. And now let's move into the foods category of this the show. And first of all, I'd like to ask, since now that RFK Jr. is confirmed as Health and Human Services Secretary in the US, can we expect big changes in the chemical use in food in 2025 in the US? Can we expect big changes surrounding the use of chemicals in the food industry?
Oh my God. Transformation and purge. And the unawakened is going to go wild. So yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I think that a lot of people are going to be surprised.
Does that mean that, let's say, the people are going crazy, or they're just like...
I think it's going to be multiple different reactions, but I think they're going to, what is the word? It's like a psychosis a little bit for them. It's like a new reality.
A hard awakening.
A hard awakening, yeah.
It's a rude awakening.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
I love it.
Yeah, so that's a big yes, a big yes. So really great news there.
Sorry, I just split the deck and it says, when you're using something repeatedly and you have cravings about this, I cannot say that word that starts with A. It says that's partly why they're going to react this way. It's because lots of product that they
get rid of, they're addicted to.
Yeah, you cannot say that word, but yeah.
I don't care.
Okay.
This word to me is not triggering.
I just love this channel. I don't want it to go.
I know, but like in astrology, we talk about that all the time.
Okay.
Especially in Pisces. All right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense what you just said. Okay, so is cleaning the fruits and the vegetables with water doing anything positive? Okay. Is it really helping in cleansing, cleaning? I never know what word to use. Cleansing, cleaning? I guess both. Is it really helping?
A little bit, but it's extremely limited. It says one side. So let me see. We have the Tower, we have the Nine of Swords, the Queen of Swords, the Hangman with, well, the Hang Teddy in this one, but it's the same thing, and the Polar Lisa. I think that there is way too much chemicals to be just cleansed with water. It says one side, but the one side would be more addressing the people touching it a little bit. It's something.
Okay. So going deeper into this line of questions. So there are products that are claiming that they help. So we're going to first ask, are those products that claim that help clean the fruits, do they work? And then we're going to ask about vinegar and baking soda. So let's first ask about the products that claim to remove pesticides. Are they working? Are they efficient?
It's a little bit more than the water.
Okay.
But it's just a little bit more than the water. That's it.
Okay. So not So great. So now let's talk about vinegar. Is it helping remove the pesticides of, let's say, the fruit?
Yes. Oh, now we're talking. Yes. Now we have attention and new direction. Now it changes something drastically. Yes. It says touch of evil, and we have the Zorro is attacking the touch of evil. So yes, it's acting like a superhero.
Wow. Okay, I've never done it before, but I use different things, but now I'm gonna focus on that. And what about baking soda? Is it helping in removing pesticides off the fruits?
Absolutely. So I would say use them together if you can, if this is not too much. Yeah.
So I don't know about like the chemical reaction between both, but
That's what I use to clean like in my house in total. But
okay.
I don't know. Let us know in the comments if you have tried both of them together on fruit and vegetables, and if it works. Let us know, please, in the comments.
Okay, or if you have a special recipe for that, let us know.
Yep.
But vinegar and baking soda seem to be the champions of this question. Okay, really good to know. Okay, so there are a lot of theories around frozen fruits. So I'd like to know the truth here. Some people are like, yeah, that's great because, like when, for example, it's winter here, we don't have a lot of choices to get our vitamins. So I'd like to know, are frozen fruits good for us? Do they still have nutrients, vitamins in them? Or do they have more pesticides? Like, what do the cards tell us about frozen, especially frozen fruits?
It depends on the location where it comes from and the company. So we do have the Magician Reverse, which is already not a good magician to start with, but reverse, it's like it's hiding stuff, so I don't like it. But then later on, we do have the recharging, and we have Divine Love. So with this, I'm saying that it's more about the location, if it had enough sun, if under the law of the country there's pesticide and everything.
Okay.
So the location is extremely important, but it's not depleted of everything so far. That's not what I'm seeing. But
are the pesticides worst on the fruits when they're frozen?
That's a good question. Let's ask. Yes. Because it has more time to absorb, apparently.
Okay.
They're sprayed and then they're frozen, and it's worse. Yes.
It's like it adds to the chemical structure of the fruit. Something.
Yeah. If you know more, please let us know.
Please let us know. Okay, well, so I guess if you go organic, local, and this is like a place where they don't use pesticides, for example, I have some local organic blueberries, so those I feel safe with them. But like if you import from places that you're not really sure, I wouldn't try it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we move into our next section, stay tuned. I just want to announce to you that those are back. The live consultation one-on-one with Sophie and Sol. So if you'd like to book your one-on-one consultation, you can do so on the website on MaisonJupiter.com. The link is down below in the description box. And don't forget your code Jupiter to get 10% off on your next consultation. And Sophie has the tarot readings where you can ask all of your personal questions surrounding any themes you'd like. We also have the past lives reading, and with Sol, we have the mystical oracle reading, the star seed reading, and I forgot to add there, we also have the holistic health appointment, which also can help if you have any kind of questions surrounding that. So the link is down below, and also do not forget to like if you do enjoy the content so far before we move on to our next category. And also, if you have other questions that you'd like to add to our twice a week investigations, you can do so in the community. And the link is also down below in the description box if you'd like to ask your own questions. Okay, so now let's move into this category, which is pharmaceuticals. And I have a really good question here from Paula. And Paula is, and it's like I don't know how to pronounce it. Paula is asking, can you ladies please look into sorry. I'm being confused with languages in my brain right now. HRT, so hormone replacement therapy for women in perimenopause, menopause. So this is such an interesting question because myself, I've checked a few documentaries on the subject. There are many, many like very devised sort of opinions on the subject. And Paula says there has been a sudden surge and change of tune on it. They did a study years ago, but it was a totally botched study. Yeah, I can imagine. The results scared a woman, so they went off the hormones and consequently suffered. Is this new info empowering the rise of the feminine? I know it's pharmaceuticals, but it really changed a woman's life. It's been empowering for many. And she's saying, yes, all of us are unique and have different needs. We all have hormones that drop off a cliff at some point. Do we now live longer than we were designed to and need some help? So thank you, Paula. Those are great questions. So let's start with hormone therapy, or HRT, for women in their perimenopause, menopause. Is it positive? Is it beneficial for the woman on it?
And of course, because it's health, we have to say that we're not doctors and you do whatever you want with this information.
Yes. Thank you for that. So, of course, the choice is yours. We're just going to read the cards. Channel messages.
It says that it's pretty bad. Yeah, it says it's pretty bad. And while I'm going to pick the cards for the second row, a lot of people are saying that one of the major things on why we were safe as a society so far is because they did not do a lot of studies on women. So they don't understand how we work. And that has saved us so far.
Saved us? In what way would you say?
They don't know how to affect their body. They know how to affect the body of men. So whenever they try to affect fertility, it's a hit or miss because they don't do studies on women.
They don't really understand hormones, how they work.
They don't understand women at all.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and I can tell from experience, I was on the birth control for a long time before I decided to see a naturopath, and that was like the beginning of my spiritual awakening. That was such a liberating process, but like now I'm traumatized with like artificial hormones, completely traumatized. When I got off the pill, like I went into a second puberty. I had to like relearn everything. My body was like in shock and survival mode for so long. So I was kind of assuming that it was not good, but like I had also lots of testimonies from women that said like, oh, this changed everything for me. This is so great. Mm-hmm. But also what made me kind of wary about it is like there was like a documentary made in Quebec from Vero, like the celebrity. Mm-hmm. And so I haven't seen it, but a lot of people have talked to me about it, and they said like, oh wow, like she's really fighting so that we can get HRT for free or covered by the government. And I was just like, yeah, I was like, that sounds like there's something behind that.
Well, I mean, everybody is different. Everybody is different. I think that if it works for you, good. If it doesn't, it doesn't. What I'm seeing through the card is that, again, that has been done on the studies, has been done on the system of the masculine. So I think this is some kind of hormones therapy, not the same hormones, but there's some kind of hormone therapy that works well on masculine bodies, but not as well on feminine bodies. There is more aspect that has not been discovered in correlation of the symptoms and everything with the feminine body. And I feel that there is an aspect of mental health that is also really impacting when it comes to the feminine body. So that could be another substance, another kind of hormones that is needed to add to it. Ultimately, what I'm seeing is that, let me just show you the last cards. Ultimately, what I'm seeing is that we have here, here, and here. What is being offered as the pill is not, it's not really working out for most people, and they know about it. It's just that they don't want to do more studies. So this is a sneaky energy, 7 of Swords, and they know that they're not fixing anybody. So that's probably placebo effect. That's probably for some people because they happen to just be missing that particular substance that is in there. So
short-term sort of fix that you feel better in the short term, but long term it's like affecting your liver, for example, or whatever.
Well, there is side effect for sure with the 7 of Swords, but I think it works for some people, but it would be a little percentage because we need something else. We need more than just this, meaning that there's a component that is really important that is lacking, and we could remove some side effect from some chemicals for sure. So ultimately, I would say it's not all bad or all good, but as is right now, it's not solving the problem.
Okay. Well, you know, like I still don't know a lot about like the whole thing about menopause, but I guess there's a goal to it, spiritually speaking, energetically speaking. Like we are seasons, like women were cyclic beings. So in trying to avoid a certain part of our cycle or of our seasons is a bit like trying to take some medication and not find the root cause of what you're supposed to do and understand, right? So I'd like to ask the cards, like, what is the spiritually evolved way of going through menopause? What is it trying to teach us?
Okay. And just before I forget, I just had a download on what was missing from the mental health perspective. It's the oxytocin.
Okay.
For those of you who knows, the oxytocin is missing. So yeah, that's what it says. Okay. So what is, from the point of view of spirituality, evolution, the meaning of
menopause? What are we supposed to achieve energetically, spiritually?
It says that this is supposed to be our greatest moment as a woman. The reason is not because this is where, how would I put this? It's because we're not in this society that's when we are in menopause, that's where we dissociate from a social role acting for male. So from a point of view of maybe we're less, we're not giving birth, we're supposed basically to focus more on us and nobody else. And it's stuff with the hormones and the urge and fertility we tend to forget ourselves a lot. We forget our needs and to put us as a priority. And specifically for masculine, full adult masculine in our lives, we are acting like their mother. It says that at that part of life, it's supposed to be just about us. And this is society, okay? Because there's probably cultures where everybody can at any moment, but that is more easy and accepted to do it all of your life.
Well, yeah, also it has to do with the cycles of being a woman. Let's say if you have a marriage, a family, you have children, like a big part of your role is to be a mother. So let's say if you are going into menopause, and let's assume by then like the kids are older and they're more autonomous, then you have all this energy, all this creation potential to put into yourself and your own projects, right? So that can really be the peak of your creativity, of your success, professionally speaking, of your spiritual enlightenment. So you can really try to decide to focus this energy on yourself, which I think society has kind of made us believe that you should have to focus this energy on men all the time, or on the family or job, or on others. Yeah, right.
Yeah. I just took 2 cards while you were saying that, because, and I love those 2 cards. We have the curse and we have public enemy. And that remind me, because I went recently to the Museum of Witches, and they were talking about how menopause women were targeted for witch hunts because they did not serve the society anymore. And
they're so dangerous because like they have all this power that they can focus into magic, right?
Those knowledge of healing and everything, and they don't want to be serving anybody. They want to be happy alone. Society don't need them anymore at that moment, and sometimes they're widowed having the money, so they were killed for that.
Yeah, well, they're not useless, they're just too powerful. No. That's what they
but that's society view them as. Of course, we don't.
That is so interesting. That is so interesting. That I think this is helping us view it into a whole new perspective. Okay, can we ask the card, what could ease the transition of the hormones into getting into menopause in a natural way?
It says cycle completion. I think there is a part of it that is simply to accept
and to the nature of the seasons, the cycles.
Yeah, and it's not easy. We're not saying it's easy. We're just saying that it's part of the cycle for sure, and we need to just accept and see beauty in everything. We do have men again saying ladies should listen, so I think that it's a thing that of society that needs to be changed, and as women we need to fight for the freedom of that perspective. First of all, I think it starts with how we view our own body and how we view also our role in society, in our life, putting ourselves as a priority, and also other women, to start to be friendly and helpful with other women and not judging. That is already a big step in the right direction. It's not saying anything about easing the symptoms. It's mental. It's so mental that if we accept it, it's going to diminish a lot the symptoms.
Okay, so it's a lot about the psychological aspect to it.
Yeah.
Let us know, guys, what you think about that, because I know you're going to have a lot of comments. I already know. This is fascinating, really. Okay, so on the same topic of getting older, I saw here Barbara. Oh, I forget her last name. Well, let me know, guys. I'm sure you know her. She's like a natural medicine product kind of expert, I'm going to say. And she talks here about her unique approach to health and anti-aging, which is natural. And she said, like, how can you produce human growth hormone without having it, let's say, artificially injected or whatever? And she said the celebrities have it injected in this video that I found on X. But she said, by doing a 15-minute high-intensity interval training every day, you can produce it yourself naturally. How? A 15-minute high-intensity interval training every day.
What is that?
So a 15-minute training that you do, but like that's high intensity. So let's just say That can be running, going upstairs, something that makes your heart go really beat faster. But interval is like, let's say you do 1 minute or 1.5 minutes, like really intense, and then you have a little, like, let's say you're running full speed 1.5 minutes, and then you're walking 30 seconds, something like that, and you do it for 15 minutes. So interval is like letting your heart adapt to high intensity and then have to recover quickly. So apparently it's really good. And that's when I was training. That's what I felt called to do. Like I felt called to do interval training.
Yeah, that's what I do too with my trampoline.
Awesome. So she says like that's going to help us be healthy longer and to have a younger looking skin. So I'd like to ask the cards, is it true that with this 15-minute high intensity interval training every day, that can help us into producing human growth hormone?
Yes, absolutely.
Well,
absolutely.
I know what I'm going to do now.
And it helps the heart a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, the Knight of Cups, the King of Cups, and Ace of Sword and the heart. So it's also helping with that component that I was talking about, this kind of a component of mental health that is needed also. It helps for the physical heart, the cardio, yes. It helps also for your hormones of happiness, and it helps also for your body. And yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much. This is great validation. Okay, 2 last questions. So first of all, I have this one, which was sent to us by Tim on the community. So thank you, Tim. And I hope we're going to be able to understand what he's saying here. So I'm just going to turn up the volume. And if not, I'll just repeat what he says.
We are starving a vampire this week. It's the Blood Drive Blitz, and it starts tomorrow. These two teaming up with the Red Cross once again.
So I had to listen to it a few times because I'm like, did he really say that? Like, where the vampires are starving or something like that in the intro? So they were saying like they're going to do a blood drive because the vampires are starving. So listen, English is my second language. I might have got this wrong, but I really think that's what he said here. So, and Tim also said, and it's about the Red Cross. So Tim, the question that Tim was also suggesting along with that video was, has the Red Cross, the world's biggest NGO, ever been used as a supplier for vampires and users of the substance that we're not going to name here?
And worst. Yes.
Okay. That's kind of weird, right? Like to say that on like national television.
I think it was probably making a joke. That was not funny, but I think if it was not planned, he put the finger on something, because it talks about cover up of hiding bodies also for that company.
Oof. Okay. Yeah. Organization. Yeah, this is a non-profit organization. Wow. Okay. So I had a feeling that wasn't so good. Our next and last question is going to be, and I'm going to show you, maybe we have time for another one. Okay. So if we are living in a higher frequency, let's say we are in 5D, or like we just achieve a higher frequency as a collective in the coming years, is it possible that the chemicals in our environment don't affect us so much? Let's say the pesticides, the chemicals in the food, the water, chemtrails, all that stuff.
It says yes. We have off-world, okay. It says yes, but we're going to also not have those chemicals being produced at that moment, right? So we do have off-world, so that's very intriguing. It's almost like living
saving us.
Sorry?
They're saving us.
Living in a 5D could be that we're not here anymore. that is one of the ways also that maybe this collective is not going to be able to reach the 5D at some point altogether without off-worlders changing something here.
Can you rephrase that? I'm not sure I get it.
This is just judging from those. It's not like I did a full spread on it, okay? I know there's tons of readers saying many other things on this. It's just that from what I'm seeing, it could be that when we are in the 5D, it could be nothing is set in stone. We're not going to be on Earth. It could be that Earth is not able to evolve to the 5D just yet. And maybe it's going to be that we're helping the transition to something better, but not reaching the 5D. And it could be that it's maybe more in our next life somewhere else that we're going to achieve this.
Or exactly what you've read last week about like how maybe for a certain time we're going to be off planet to let the Earth heal, and then we can come back without all the chemicals. Because like where to start if we would have, let's say, released all of the chemicals? It's everywhere. It's in the air, it's in the soil, it's in the water, it's in our bodies, it's everywhere. So at some point, like, where do you start to do a whole cleansing, right?
Oh, I'm starting to have a little bit more of a hope with everything going on.
Yeah, but still, like, it's deep, right? And a lot of people were commenting on when you've read about that, reinforcing that we might have to leave at some point to let the Earth detox. A lot of people were like, oh my God, like, I've seen that too in my readings, in my dreams, in my lucid dreaming. A lot of people were like, that was like a huge revelation for them because they felt validated with their own feelings about that.
Yeah. So if you remember, what I said is that for right now, with the card of off-world, it could be that they come and they do something to here, that we are going elsewhere, or it could be that in the next lives we are going to achieve this. But so far, I think that one way or another, we're here to make a big difference in the right way. So everybody watching is doing a lot to help to transit to this better vibration.
Oh, yes. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Sophie. And of course, if you'd like to book your one-on-one consultation, you can do so. Don't forget Jupiter as your discount code to get 10% off your next reading. And lastly, I just wanted to show you the schedule for this week. So tomorrow we'll have the last of the series of Exploring the Cosmic Universe with Solreta and Phil. So that's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern. Thursday, the pick a card at noon, followed by the 5D news. So stay tuned. It's going to be a good one, I'm sure. We haven't recorded it yet, but every Thursday at 7 p.m. we have a new 5D news. Friday at noon, I'm going to put up a Astro special on Venus retrograde about the astrology of it. So I've done a lot of research recently. I've got a lot to talk to you. So this is going to be Friday, the day of Venus. And at 8 p.m., the Galactic Show with the beautiful Solreta live. And we have the new one, which we've talked about. So this is going to be Sunday at noon, the new Chakra Yoga with Elena, especially for Mars going direct on the same day, Mars, the planet of physical exercise. So thank you so much, guys, for being with us. We love you, and do make sure you like this video if you did appreciate the content. And thank you so much, Sophie, for reading the cards for us.
Thank you.
We'll see you Thursday. Bye, everybody.